bit of an update here on the turbo when I'm putting it back together. I like to go and take my file. You want to make sure it's a gentle file, a smooth grit, not anything too aggressive, and also a good quality file that is straight and true. You don't want to use a cheap file that's not straight, because then it could mess you up. Also, if you have a handle on, you want to take the handle off. You want to make sure it's something flat that you can get a really good, gentle, flat surface with, and you don't want it something that's warped or whatnot. But you can go and, as I've done here, just gentle movements. You want to keep a hand on either side of the file, preferably, if you have a free hand. Go from different angles, keeping the file nice and flat and nice, gentle pressure. Also, before you start, make sure your oil passages here, these are where the bolt passes, so don't worry about that. But these two passages, you want to have them covered so no metal shavings fall down. So stuff a small rag in there so nothing's going to get in, and before you pull them out, just give them a quick shot of compressed air to blow any extra shavings. Same thing with your pedestal seal. These are bolt holes, so it's not a problem there, but these two passages need to be sealed. Also on your bottom, to keep any metal shavings out. But by running a file, you'll be able to tell if you have high spots, which could interfere with the two surfaces mating. If it's something really bad, specifically on the pedestal, because it's aluminum, it's more likely that something could have warped or been damaged. You may have to get a new pedestal or get it machined properly, because using a file like this is not something that is by any means extremely accurate, but it is a good way to tell you how your metal is faring. And so by running that, I'm able to see my high spots. And once I've established these three high spots here and brought them down a little bit to I'm starting to see a little bit of scuffing on the low spots, I'm confident enough that it's fine. It's not a big deal, especially because we do have our O-rings here, but I just want to make sure that it's not, that there's no high spots. You might, for instance, have a built-up high spot of rust or corrosion or something. And if you just set it the wrong way when you're mounting it, that could potentially interfere. So what we're trying to do is just knock down any high spots and get it within reason. This literally took me about like a minute of just gentle work, so it doesn't take that long, and it'll tell you pretty quickly what condition your metal's in as far as warpage. And the other thing too would be, it's quite common to have a little burr or a ding that can, maybe when you were taking it off, you schmucked it on something, and that can give you a ding. For instance, here in this large oil passage, you can see a little bit of a shadow here where it was, but whoever put it on last time, whenever that was, it seems like they either dropped it. This insert is steel, the rest is aluminum, so that explains why it would have actually dented the steel. The insert seems fine, but they either, when they're mounting the turbo, they either maybe dropped it or started to torque it before it was actually seated on the ring, which then put actually quite a significant dent in here. So I filed that away with a small file, just to make sure that it'll seat properly and it's not going to make it worse or anything or interfere. But these are the kinds of things to check for. And also the same thing with these surfaces here. Take a file, and you want as long of a what would we call it, a reference line as possible, I guess. You wouldn't want to file this way much at all, because it's not going to give you an accurate reading. What we're looking for is to get our file across as long of a portion as possible. And we're just talking, especially with the aluminum here, we're talking very gentle motions. I worked it here, and in a very gentle path, I would run it along and curve it around, bring it, and then go back and forth. Obviously, we can't go this way. If this was not in the way, it would be a lot easier. On this bottom one, it's quite easy because there's no no inserts, it's just a flat surface, so I was able to just run my file back and forth. But you can see the those shiny spots, those shiny scuffs are where the file contacts. And within a couple passes, this is what it looks like. So this surface, in my opinion, is very smooth. It looks really good. There shouldn't theoretically be any high spots there because it'll show you very quickly based on the shine. So if you get consistent shiny spots everywhere, it should tell you that your surface is nice and smooth.